Alright, today for this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about Pre-Kelley Advice. So I'm currently a Pre-Kelley student on paper, but since I got all B's, I'm guaranteed to get in Kelley next year. So let's get right into it. The first tip I would say is get all B's or higher. Because if you get B's or higher, you're guaranteed in Kelley, and then you can work from there. A few of my friends, like 5 of them, they didn't get all B's. They had like maybe one B minus or a C plus. And what Kelley does is if you get 3 strikes, which a strike is anything under a B, which means B minus and down. So if you get that 3 times, you're guaranteed not to get in Kelley. But if you get one of those, if you get 1 or 2 of those, you still have a chance to get in Kelley, but usually they only let in like 38% of those students. So out of like however many people it is, it's probably like, I'm just saying numbers, so it's probably like 500 or something, and you would be like 30% of that 500. So I wouldn't count on that. Instead, I would just make sure you get B's and higher. That should be the first thing. A second thing I would say is that the already Kelley students, a few of them that I talked to that were my friends, I they're going for A's because A's are needed to get into these workshops, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, they're going for A's. So don't only go for the B's, even though that's what you need to get in Kelley. You should actually go for the A's because you're gonna need it down the line to get into the workshops, and it's just gonna help you more. All right, so moving on to the workshops. Being a pre-Kelley student, you're given a university division advisor rather than a Kelley advisor, which actually means that your advisor doesn't really know anything about the workshops or the Kelley School of Business. So, so many of the pre-Kelley students don't really know anything about the Kelley School of Business, or if they're taking like the perfect amount of credits, or if they're if many of the people don't even know that the workshops exist. And basically what the workshops are, like, there's an investment banking workshop at the school. It's really hard to get into, but basically when you go through it, you're guaranteed a top level investment banking job, which for anyone watching that's a finance major, investment banking is like one of the top jobs you can get straight out of college. So many people are trying to get into that investment banking workshop, but for the pre-Kelley students, they don't even know that it exists, so they're not even like in they're not even in the race for it. A second thing I would say is that I would definitely advise you to join a business frat if you are trying to get into any of these workshops. Business frats are great for networking and just helping with resumes and interviews. And of course, they're still a frat, so they do have fun. So I did not do this, by the way, but I know people that did, and it greatly helps you for getting in workshops because of the connections, and the people in the frat are sometimes already in these workshops, and they can help get you in. So that's a great choice if you're trying to get into these. A final thing I would say, I would it's not really advice, but it's something you should be aware of. I was not aware of this, and many of my friends that I met during this year were also not aware of this. But pre-Kelley students, even if they get all B's and know that they're guaranteed to get in Kelley, we're not allowed to pick our Kelly classes until sometime around June when they actually notify everyone that got into Kelly. So basically, what that means is scheduling opened for the Kelly students like at the beginning of April. So they had this whole time to schedule their classes and for all the classes to fill up. So by the time it's June, the only classes left are like the worst times, like the 8 a.m.s or like the 8:25 p.m.s. Like, so that's the only classes left for the pre-Kelly students, and most of the time it's with the worst teachers. A thing to know is that you're able to go in grade distribution for any class and type it in, and it tells you like the percent of people that got A's, the percent of people that got B's, C's, D's, and people usually do this and pick the teacher based on that because the A's could be like 80% for one teacher and like 30% for another teacher, which it's just based on how they grade, and this could greatly change your grade in the class, making your GPA higher, and you with a higher GPA it may help you get into these workshops or a better career. So it greatly affects your future, but being a pre-Kelly student, you're not allowed to register for these classes yet, which puts you at a disadvantage to the Kelly students. So to the all to the direct admits. So I would I definitely want you to be aware of that fact. But besides that, just get the B's, network, and you should be good.